Action. Maybe. We won't know.
Yeah.
What does it say?
Oh yeah, it's working. All right, cool. Hi guys. We are
It's
back.
working!
We are back with a vengeance.
Count that, what, 5 seconds in, 10 seconds in, he got right to the punch. Amazing.
Yeah, well, I figured that I'd factor it in early.
Now you must get vengeance on his dad jokes by watching.
Never.
Or is
will
that a
anyone.
real joke? I don't know. Where's that line?
If it makes you go, oh, it's a
Yeah.
dad joke. Enough of dad's making it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Anyway, welcome guys. We're back. It seems like a long time, although we talked to you on Friday.
It was Friday, was it? Okay.
Yeah, I felt like I should have done one on the weekend. Didn't. Felt like I should have went yesterday. Almost did. Then shit came up and I didn't. And now I just feel like we haven't talked to you in forever.
Are you saying you missed them all?
I did.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
missed you. You too, because I didn't see you.
Me? Or
Yeah.
that? Oh.
Yeah, you. Yeah.
Well, that's nice. Yo.
Oh.
Yo.
Anyway, we got some super chats to start, so I'm going to read those. So Ozzy throws in $5. All hail the great commander and his great Captain Foley. Hope they had an awesome weekend. I mean, I had a normal weekend. Like I said, some stuff kind of went down, but that's okay.
And I made some Roman and War shots. I did some NX refit. I did some Yorktown. He's been bugging me for like 3 weeks. So I was like, fine, I'll do my weekend to your project. So I did.
There you
That's
go.
what I did. It's a very one-dimensional weekend, really. And today, Stuart, I made fresh, everything from scratch burgers. I
Ooh.
mean, I didn't kill the beef.
I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I was going to make that joke.
No, I mean, yeah, fully. It was good. I overcooked the burgers, but that's because I made it a little too thick because it was my first time. But next time, version B is very nice though.
Next time on Samuel's Kitchen.
I will be told by Gordon Ramsay, it's raw! Why is it? No, mine was not raw. I was sure it was not raw.
Yeah. Olivia
Sorry,
Julius
yes.
for $2. Another creepy love story episode. Yeah, it's very minimal. Yeah. And Olivia Julius again, $5. Also, remember, kids, there's the only one setting between stun and max vaporize. Yeah, we'll get to that. When we get to that. Ozzy throws in $5. Here's a coin for our captain on Thursday. Happy early birthday. Oh, thank you. Samuel's birthday is on June 7th, so it's coming up as well. So
We will be doing a double stream at some point in the very near future. We just got to work out when, and that will be the one that you can join in and sponsor us to get thoroughly destroyed with alcohol. That's up to you.
right. For successful ambushes, bathe more often. Puts in $1 with a cool glasses emoji.
She is cool. She is cool.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Anyway, all right, guys. So that's it for the super chats so far.
I will super leave, and you will super talk. Then
Right.
we'll super review, as long as you super chat.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna. Yeah.
See,
Anyway, guys.
that wasn't a dad joke. I'm not a dad. That was a me joke, and it's far worse.
Anyway, guys. Yeah, some super chats have already come in, which is great. But if you guys want to continue to super chat, that's great. It helps us support the channel. And by the way, the channel memberships, joining the channel, have really made a big difference. So if you guys haven't joined the channel and you want to help us out and support us for only like $5 a month, something like that, you can join at the rank of commander, captain, or admiral, and really help us out. Those channel memberships are actually proving to be quite a big deal now. So if you guys can do that, please do so. If you already have, thank you very much. Like I said, super chat if you have any questions or comments about this episode, and also feel free to send a PayPal if you want. Just let us know in the chat that you sent to PayPal, and we will of course read that. And don't forget, you can also get some Trekyards merchandise from our Teespring store, all that jazz. By the way, guys, there is a new discount code for Eagle Moss. It's Trekyards 10, which gets you 10% off everything, including special orders and XL ships, but everything except pre-orders. So there is a new Trekyards code. So consider that. I got to add that to the description of the videos. But yeah. So guys, you can help us out, and we really appreciate it because we'd like to keep doing these for you. And you guys are a big part of that. So I'd like to welcome everybody. 55 of you here. Everybody make sure you hit that like button. Let's get the likes up. Samuel is now sharing the videos so that we can get a few more viewers in here. So that's why I'm just yattering on about super chats and stuff, because they are important. So yeah, Trekyards 10 for 10% off Eagle Moss orders. And that includes everything. Shop exclusives, XLs. The only thing it doesn't include is pre-orders, but so just got that word in today, so that's very important, and I will be adding that to the description of the videos very soon, once we've actually tested it out, make sure it works and all that. So yeah, so that's the thing you guys should be aware of. So ooh, look at Tower Radio throws in £5.
Best currency.
It is. Hey Captain, happy lockdown birthday time. When you see Commander, although a womanizer, he showed he is a serious commander. He is the Kirk of the TNG. Oh, yeah.
All right, so only 56 people today. Hopefully, we'll jump that up to 100 and something.
Yep.
I know, and obviously, these sorts of reviews are you like certain episodes. That's fair enough. Obviously, the regulars are here. But Stuart, what do you think then of Season 3? Episode 9, Vengeance Factor, which I've got only a page and a half of notes.
I remembered almost nothing about this episode going into it.
Which is me next week.
So this one, I knew I wasn't going to like because I didn't remember it. And it was all right. It had some interesting moments for sure. But overall, it was just not a good episode. And there's some wonky shit that happens near the end. It's like, what? Okay. And yeah, just I don't think Riker would have done exactly what he did, and it was a little bit of overkill, I gotta say.
Well, over disintegrate.
Yeah, but anyway,
she was overcooked.
Yeah, I think Picard makes a sketchy decision here and there, and the love story thing doesn't really work, doesn't pay off, isn't fleshed out enough. It's just kind of so there's a lot of things in this one that just don't do it for me. So this is not one of my favorites. But I like I said, I didn't remember much going into it, and I can see why. It's just kind of forgettable. So. But
it's not forgettable bad. There is a distinction there,
Yeah, it's just there's nothing here. It seemed like it was filmed with a biker gang from LA. There's just.
And it's weird that this, even in season 3. Is less good than a lot of season 1 episodes, for more reason that those have more interesting character moments. This might be filmed slightly better, more money in it, but there's not a ton of, oh, that was a good Riker moment, or that was a good whatever. And so even though the devolution is there, you might still look back at season 1 and be like, well, yeah, but they really got, you gotta have a few less strong. Because this one was one where they really committed to the story of the episode, the politics. Problem is, you didn't quite care as much as they think you did, which is a problem if you're doing it more on story versus character. Now, often we've had character over story, but this was definitely story over character, and kind of like Phantom Menace. It's like, yeah, but if you don't care about the situation, because they're all in. I mean, they keep going in, they keep talking about it.
I kind of appreciated how the Kai Wynn character wasn't.
Oh God, yeah.
Wasn't as pig-headed as she could have been. She actually followed along pretty well with the idea that, to be whole, you guys have to... I like that, because I thought she was going to be more stubborn, and she actually wasn't. She was very much a good diplomat. She was trying, and I really appreciate that.
Well, one of my notes is that she's obviously a good leader, because she admits when she's wrong at the end.
Yeah.
Like, most leaders don't do that, but it's a sign of a strong leader. You can say, yep, nope, shouldn't have done that, but I will do better next time. She does say it does grow on you, but again, she's given a ton of time, so... But all I can see looking at her is Kai Wynn from a couple of years later. I mean, it's absurd how similar the look combined is, which is not a problem, obviously. the visual is so striking. I mean, it could have been the same actress. Obviously, it wasn't, but
Yeah.
it's that similar. But yeah, for me, this one is fine. I remembered it well enough, conceptually, but not much in it.
Mm.
But since the concept is the entire thing, that's like, oh, really? There isn't that many amazing lines. There isn't that much characters. Picard's a good diplomat in it, so I give him credit there. But he's also not the one that solves the situation, so he doesn't quite have a successful feel to him. Riker has a convoluted love plot which is less rapey than last week, but it is abrupt, and you could have written that well. They didn't, for whatever reason. Either they chose not to write it well, they don't have the ability to write it well, but they didn't write it well, and that was on them. And then no one else got anything to do. I mean, Crusher a smidge. I mean, not that you need everyone to have something to do every week, and obviously you want the guest cast to impress, but the lead doesn't have as much charisma as she could have. Like Kywin has charisma. You want to hate her. Great, you've achieved the goal. Well, I do think actually both of the biker guys, after the episode's ended, I think both are well cast. Once you see the full episode, once they build to them, I think they both did better than they could have done. They both committed and also gave something else, which I really appreciated. So I think that was good. And I almost liked the servant lady, but something about performance didn't hook me as it should have. Something. It was close. She's got the look. She's got the kind of whatever, but it wasn't quite,
Yep. No, I totally agree with that. It was lacking something for sure.
Yep.
Jeff Jacobs, though, $2. Got our quick 50. Nice. Hit like with a vengeance. Factor that into your thought process.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that joke a few times probably, so I apologize.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys. Hit like if you haven't. 68 of you here now. And if you want to super chat, please feel free to do so, or join the channel, as I was talking about earlier.
Yes.
Joining the channel has actually is proving to be quite a great way to support the channel. So
Godsend or fan send, because you guys are the ones doing it. So
yeah, it's only a couple bucks a month, depending on which tier you pick, and that just makes a huge difference on our end. So if you can, please do, and then we know who our loyal supporters are. As I can see a bunch of you in there right now in the chat. So.
I mean, it's weirdly encouraging. It's like, oh, so many of you. But shall we get to going?
Yes, we should.
So it starts with not a captain's log, which I noticed. No ship, no captain's log. It's like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm. I didn't remember this scene at all.
No. I still don't.
Strange green lighting, but that's okay.
Well, it's interesting at least. Like, it was
a
choice.
Everything is a choice. Okay, why are my notes not working here? Hold on a second. I gotta close that.
It's green.
Right. All right, so they find some scientists.
And that ends the scene.
First they find a piece of metal with blood on it. Then Worf can't open a door. Data just shows them up. And then they find some scientists who are suffering from several phaser stuns each. So, ouch.
Yeah, this intro is bad.
Yep.
Okay, let's see who wrote this episode. Okay, he wrote 2 episodes. Sam. Oh, it was written by Sam. Damn it, Sam! That's a joke from my university. Sorry, people say "damn it, Sam." Sorry. He also wrote DS9 Vortex. It was the only 2 things he wrote. Vortex was a season 1 episode, which also makes it less good. So, not a quality writer according to. Anyway, so this scene is bad for many reasons. One, it's too quick. It feels like an afterthought, even though it's the first thought, which is ridiculous. For me, all I see when I watch this episode is, right, this first set is a redress of the Who Watches the Watchers set. I see it instantly, because that window is like, well, that's just the same window, isn't it? So instantly I'm like, this is just a science redress. They beam in, they walk around doing nothing. They find a metal... Why is there a blade with blood on it?
Don't know. It's never explained. We find out that they were stunned. Nobody seems to be stabbed. Unless the scientist stabbed somebody in the scuffle, but, I mean...
But stun is very instant.
Yep.
Like, so they got attacked, there's 2 people, and they got heavily stunned. At one point, somebody stabbed somebody, but there's no baddie body. But I mean, it looks like
Even
shrapnel almost, rather than a blade. It
yeah,
could be falling debris, but that wouldn't make sense either. Neither one have laceration wounds; they have stun wounds. So
even I was stunned by this opening.
yeah,
Not just the scientists.
because it would have been fine to start at the planet. Like, look, we're on a diplomatic mission. Great, move on. I don't. It's a very
Yeah.
nonsensical bit, and it's so abrupt. Because
Yep.
if they stuck themselves in this room, they're obviously both dead. I mean, because you've no sense of timing. The implication is that this is like we got a distressing a while ago. They are long since here. Stuns don't last that long, even multiple stuns. Either they were attacked 4 hours ago, in which case you should see the ship in the local vicinity and know who it was, or they were stunned and killed a long time ago and they're dead. But I don't remember which one.
But they're not dead.
But they say they were heavily stunned, but they never return. Like, they never come back, they never say anything, they're just sort of there and they're not there.
Yeah.
It's probably the worst intro I've seen, actually. I might give it worst TNG intro.
I thought it was going to be great with the way it opened, and you saw the pan across the room,
Yeah.
and they beam in. It's like, oh yeah, something cool's going to happen. But yeah, nothing really happens. The only thing that's really kind of good in the scene is Worf trying to open the door, and then Data just coming out and whoop.
Yeah, because he is much stronger. Yeah, it's a good setup for that, but it's just weird. But it does lead them to the place, because they, the blood on the weapon, which means that these people stabbed one of the other people.
We never get an answer.
But to be fair, the thing was, so I'm guessing then that they got onto the station, they had a kerfuffle, they stabbed a guy, then ran to their escape room, which was then locked, and the people just ransacked the base, and then they were still maybe they stunned themselves just to sleep. They couldn't sleep, so they said, yeah, I'll stun you do it at the same time. It wasn't well thought out.
Nope. Nope. Olivia Julius still throws in $2.
Thank
Hashtag Picard fertilizer. Hashtag cat.
But it's
Yes.
going well.
Yes. But yeah, then we're back on the ship. We find out that the iron copper blood, the Akamarians have copper and iron blood.
And it's unique.
It is unique. And yeah, so yay.
But then they say, yes, there are raiding parties in the local sectors. Or was that the next scene?
That's the next scene, because then we learn about. Then Kai Wynn comes aboard, Skunk Lady, as I call her. So they're looking for these gatherers that did this raid, and they need the Federation's help.
But I found that silly. The station gets attacked. Many stations have got attacked in the vicinity. Okay, this is a little bit further out. Why wouldn't they? Like, they seem so surprised when they find the blood of the people. It's like, yeah, but you're like half a day from the place that they're from, and a quarter day. I just find the surprise. Like, that makes sense. They're raiders. They've been raiding all of our places.
Yeah.
But yes, and this lady. Yes.
Jeff Jacobs, $2. Bet Data can open the hell out of a jar of pickles. Bet she can.
Or he'd smash the jar.
Right?
Yeah.
That's something Warford would do. But yeah, Skunk Lady Kai Wynn comes aboard, and we find out that these other people are called the Gatherers, and they haven't tried talking to them in 18 years. But 100 years ago, they were all a bloody savage race, and these ones they split off. They were savages, so that the rest of the culture could become more.
Well, everyone else wanted to move past it. They didn't, so they left.
Yes. Yes.
It's kind of Sona-esque. They wanted the old ways, or I guess the opposite in that regard. But
well, I love Picard here. He says when was the last time you tried?
Yeah.
She said 18 years ago. He goes, well, they may be ready now. There's so much to gain and so little to lose.
I like that.
And I expected her to have some pushback, but she didn't. She realized, yeah, you know what? You're probably right. And through the whole thing, she doesn't come off as the bitch that she looks like.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey,
but she looks like she's gonna.
Wynn's
She looks like she's gonna be a. She looks like she's gonna be a problem.
Well, I think we get. So the gatherers, I didn't get the sense they attacked these people, because these people are just a random planet, very limited warp capable. Like, they aren't big explorers, but they're a problem for other people in the local vicinity. So
yeah,
it doesn't affect them, but because look, it's been enough time, we want to help, and I do think if you have the Federation flagship on your back, you've got a bit more pull, even if it's subtle, quote unquote subtle. Trying again is not a lot, and obviously you can get there quicker and whatnot. But it's I think she doesn't seem that keen on it, but she doesn't seem that negative. She's kind of just like, I mean, I'll try, sure, why not? Hey,
Yeah.
why not? I mean, it's not as if it'll be difficult, and it's not as if you even get a sense the Gatherers will add anything to their culture, because they're just people. Like, it's like if we went to the moon for 50 years and then came back, it's like, well, they're not any different. They're just moon people. Like, they're not different. I guess they bring their technology back. Maybe they have a thing about we want everyone to be on our planet. You know what I mean? It was a bit like, well, why bring them back? Because if they're not attacking you, because it's not as if there's a sense of war. We have to solve this war. It's just, no, they're just out there being.
But having them rejoin the people and be colonized on the planet will prevent them from being nomads and striking at all these bases and stuff.
Yeah, other people. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But what good is it for them though?
Norman Buckwald just joined the channel at the rank of commander. So
Hello,
welcome, Commander.
Thank you, Norman.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
We really appreciate that. So yeah, we find out the Gatherers' encampment is somewhere in the Harami cluster. So we're heading off to the Harami cluster. It sounds cool.
It does. And it's very direct and very whatever. And he's like, so what do you need? I can go right now. Just need to get my raids, and I don't need a bag. I'm all good.
Need 4 other people up, and we're good. Let's go.
And I like how. Can you imagine if you were this guard guy, right? Oh, I'm hired to be on Star Trek. What am I gonna play? Guard, lady guard. Do I get any lines? Oh God, no. Oh. Like seriously, I mean, how disappointed would you be? At least if you're a staff officer, you're in uniform. Like that was his one role in TNG.
Yeah, he's probably not a Star Trek fan. He's just an actor.
No, I
so.
know. I just find some of those like off roles a little bit funny.
Yeah. But then they show the skunk-haired lady to her quarters, and you see the ship go to warp, which, again, second time now we've seen that. We saw it once from 10 forward.
It's just the second, not the third.
Might be the third. I thought it was the second, but...
Okay.
Godfried Wigemuller joined at the rank of commander as well, so that's 2 new memberships to the channel. That is awesome, guys. That means a lot to the channel.
It's a big
It
difference.
helps us out. It does make a big difference, so thank you.
Thank you so much!
But yeah, seeing the ship go to warp is absolutely very cool. She seems impressed by it, which is nice.
Although I find her dialogue a little bit odd. She wasn't like, wow, that's a beautiful sight. She was like, a great ship you have here. And it's like, if you had a warp-capable ship, you'd have the exact same sight. So they didn't know what they were going to use there. But that's fine.
The timing seems a little weird, though, because they're on the bridge. They say, we've got to get to the Harami cluster. Picard orders at the helm. They're still on the bridge. Then they have to get down to the quarters, which are probably on deck 3, deck 4, deck 5. And anyway, forward-facing quarters, so they got to get not only down the deck's numbers, but across and over. And then the ship finally goes to warp. It's like, what have they been waiting for? Have they been waiting for them to get to the quarters to see it?
Well,
That'd be kind of cool.
Well, maybe they have a transporter room next to these quarters, so they beam the 2 extra people right to the quarters, and then they just walk down one corridor.
Possibly.
But it's always nice to see its effect, and it's good.
Yeah.
But then we get introduced to the chef. I thought it was something else, but yeah, the chef. I was like, oh, okay, actually a chef. And it's funny to hear Riker say chef, because he plays chef in like 3 years in Enterprise. In the conventional, in TNG. In Enterprise, I suppose.
So she's like, I'll need some stuff to make traditional food, and he's like, well, I can arrange for a technician to program some of the recipes into the ship's computer, which, it's cool. You get to learn a little bit about the replicator. He shows off their equipment by saying, what would you like to drink? Water, cold.
I literally said out loud, wow, great test there.
Yeah.
And like, water tastes different in New York to anywhere else. I mean, she's like,
yeah.
Ooh, that is weirdly salty or weirdly coppery. I was expecting like to bray in mulled wine. It's like almost as good. Just a small thing. It's just quite. And I found it odd that they said show us the kitchen. Does that mean you brought fresh food with you, with about 4 minutes notice? And then how long is your trip meant to be? Or do they have? If they have replicators, they're more advanced than they'd appear. In which case they wouldn't care. They'd bring a. Do you know what I mean? There's a slight disconnect between the idea of a kitchen and not. If they're just going to make all replicator foods. Because then they sort of abandon the I'll make food to I'll just program replicators. And then she makes him a replicated meal later by program replicator. Unless you mean chef by replicator. Which I guess would have to be a thing, otherwise no one would get, I don't know.
Well, Godfried, our new member, says, when are you guys going to do a video with German Trekkie? I don't think I've watched any of German Trekkie stuff. I need to check that out, I guess.
I haven't really thought about him. Does he know about us? Have him
And
message us.
Olivia Julius puts in $5. Is it just me, or does the episode redo the same sets over and over and over again?
No, I didn't get a sense of that necessarily. I mean, only for the crew quarters, but that's kind of every episode.
Yeah. But yeah, this lady has to taste test her food for her, which I always found odd, because it's like, you taste it, all right, give it to her. It's a poison that kicks in 12 hours, but okay.
Yeah, it's like you just pick a poison that works 45 seconds after ingestion rather than 1 second.
Yeah.
And even allergicness. Yeah.
Anyway.
But whatever.
So then they arrive at Gamma.
No, hold on. Then you get his cheeky little, trying to flirt. And I found this odd because she is so, like, stoic. And he's like, hello. And she's like, yes. Why would you think she's into flirting with that negative body language? Yes, he cracks a smile with her by the end. But it's like going up to a girl who really hates life and like trying to flirt with her. It's like, you're not going to get very far, mate. I know he's not necessarily a player, but a flirty guy. But the disconnect there was massive for me of like, she's not interested. Wait until you get 10 forward, then have a nice build-up scene. Don't start here because you haven't built...
Well, he sees what he likes. He likes what he sees.
Oh.
So he's gonna lay it down fast.
Yeah, but it's like, would you go to a woman who looks like she wants to punch somebody and try flirting?
I might. Depending on how she looks.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So anyway, yeah, they arrive at Gamma Harami 2, and they put together an away team. And
campfires data, campfires.
Oh, yes. There's emissions in the air. Campfires, yes.
Simple, but a nice little data moment.
Yeah. So they beam down, they find a bunch of junk, essentially. Artorian lasers.
Yes.
So I mean, they're scavengers, they're gatherers, they're,
The thing is, aren't they raiders, not scavengers? Because they attacked a Federation base.
Well, they're gatherers, which could be both.
But they're also just raiders, which is just what the Packlers did. I mean, we see that often. But I got to give them credit for this set though, because considering it's basically just stuff inside of a rock set, I've seen before. It's a very successful little set. It gives a lot of
stuff there.
Yeah, it gives a lot of scale, a lot of vibe without doing too much.
Then they get shot at, and we find out it's a Regalian phaser. Regalian phaser, sir. Okay. Why? Because the beams are purple?
Well, because there's they're not that effective. It's effective enough. So it's true. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Not particularly powerful, but they're powerful enough to kill us. So
won't go to 2,000 degrees, as be important in a moment, but it'll still kill you.
Yeah.
Although I found a line here really funny, and just stupid, because Riker yells out, "Ambush!" I'm like, no, you invaded their territory. It's called defending their territory from an invader. No ambush! Yep. You were unannounced. What sort of stupid line is that? What did you think was happening? What would you do in this situation? You know what I mean? It just is not a There's some really stupid little lines that don't make sense that not even the heroes would think that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I didn't think about that though, particularly when I watched it, because I don't think I heard him say ambush.
Yeah.
But
it's not an ambush. You invaded that territory.
So anyway, they melt this metal that they had talked about earlier. It's not particularly valuable or anything, but they use the phasers to melt it and get a vapor off of it. A gas. Yep. And then they say they're beaming out. They do say transporter room. So you think they beamed out during all this. The other guys, they put it out, and then all of a sudden they're surrounded by the feds. The feds are here.
I mean, yeah, because Worf yells it, not quite loudly enough, really, to hear it over the weapons fire. But yeah, it's obviously like, hey, they're hearing it, because then they come down and say, cowards! Which, but you can kind of tell, the fact that we're lingering on it, they haven't gone.
Yeah, but it was I don't know if I think it was an unnecessary line, because he didn't say it loud enough that I think they could hear it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I mean, you have to assume they did. But then even just watching them, like, so all they've done is made a smoke screen, right? That's all they've done, theoretically. And if they hadn't have said leave, these people, they're going, when you see them, when they go down their, like, ladders, they don't even go down and pull the guns back up. They're so lazy with it, like, if you were still in a firefight, you'd be shot now. I know they're not necessarily warriors, they're more biker dude bros, but, like, yeah, it's not a well-directed little moment there, because I would think even if you didn't know if they beamed out, like, do the other guys have beaming technology? You don't know. Do you know what beaming technology even is? I don't know. Probably, but don't know.
So anyway, next scene is the pouring liquid.
It's really abrupt.
It's very
terrible
abrupt.
Edit. It's absolutely awful.
Yeah. So taste tester tastes it, gives it to the Kai. I forget her title. Anyway, yeah. So, but yeah, it seems kind of dangerous that Picard's down there.
Well, they're all down there.
I know. But I don't think Picard would go down.
4 seconds later in terms of screen time, and now everyone's there chilling. It was a very odd edit.
And she's like, why don't you come back and join us? Well, why would we want to do that? So you can come home and end your miserable existence. That's a great way to negotiate, by the way.
I know you all hate life because your life's shit. Come back and it'll be better. How much better? Only a little bit, because you'll be all, but a little bit better. It's like, great.
Yeah. So he's like, okay, well, we'll talk. But just me and her. It's like, okay. And then Picard stays. Did you not understand, Picard? He said, I understand that he's there to...
Well, no, he meant with him. They do say with Picard.
Oh, he said, I want to be alone with, what's her name? Anyway.
Well, I took it as all three of them. I took it as the leadership.
I didn't. I definitely didn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw nothing wrong with that.
Dave Stelzer, $2. Isn't Marina Sirtis' husband one of the Raiders? Yes, I believe so. Not sure which one, though.
Oh, one of the musicians. Oh. I mean, unfortunately, he's now passed away, but...
Yeah.
Really?
But I love the line that Troy says here as they're walking away. He's willing to negotiate. He just doesn't want to appear weak in front of the other gatherers. So...
No, I like that line a lot, actually. Because you start to realize neither side want this. This is just their life. And neither side are villains, because the way these guys act, they don't actually do anything wrong. Think about it. They protect the territory first, and then they stop fighting. They have a very happy, chill peace accord. In a second, when the dude is dead, they don't assume foul play, which shows your mindset is not, traitors, which we have in any other episode. It's, he's old, who cares? And then they just drink and hang out, and then they're really decent chaps. There's no sense of meanness, which is very strange considering what they're trying to play. But I think they're trying to obviously show that the assassin lady is the only bad one here, truly. That the old ways should die, I guess, with her. So I just thought that was interesting that they're actually not bad, mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But while that's going on, we got a Borg guy. Tell me that's not a Borg costume or turned into one later.
Biker Borg, yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's throw some hoses on it. It's a Borg costume. But yeah, he runs into this little girl or this lady.
But he's not mean to her. He's just like, no, and walks by her. No foul. No problem.
She touches his face, and I'm the last of my line. My clan will outlive yours. And then he just dies. He has a heart attack.
It's odd to reveal she's bad this early on.
Yep. There's a lot of weird decisions in this episode.
It's a good little scene. I think it's reasonably well played. But it would imply more would be going on, really more. But it doesn't quite, yeah. Weird. And I was waiting for him to start burning or disintegrating, some cool effect. But just heart attack. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's very under dramatic.
But then the leader decides that he'll go with them, but he'll come alone. He won't bring anybody with him. So, I mean, I like that. He doesn't feel the need to. Yeah. That's what I mean. Everybody in this episode is very much like, all right, yeah, cool. I listened to your point of view. I think you're right. There's not a lot of conflict per se, which I appreciate, because sometimes that gets so frustrating for me. So, anyway. So he just agrees to come alone, and then they find the body. And the crusher beams down. And, well, they're first of all, they're like, don't bother getting anybody, you know, he's dead, you know, whatever. It is what it is. And they're like, no, we could maybe help him. So she beams down, scans him. He's been dead too long.
Yeah.
From cardiac arrest. So, I mean, whatever. It just shows you how they, some of their values anyway. Like, yeah, he's dead. It's fine. You know, he was old. Like, they actually say that he was old. It's fine.
Yeah, and on the other guys is like, I who was the first to find him? I was. I claim his stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
There's nobody from his clan here, or nobody left from his clan, so I'm going to claim his shit.
And then they're like, having a respect, and they're like, it's a corpse.
Yep.
Doesn't matter. We need this stuff. What do you mean? Which has certainly some logic to it, especially if you're trying to gather stuff. But yeah, it's actually rather calm and rather nice, and I was expecting to kick. Honestly, I was expecting to kick off the guy to be like, "Our guy is dead. It must be you. You." It's like,
yep.
Very That was a good subversion of expectations. I was surprised with that.
Yeah, and I find Riker's kind of out of character in this one, because even here he like takes the guy and shoves him, like, get away from the body. I understand he's taking the boots and stuff, but that seems a little bit hostile. Like, I don't know if it's Riker's time of the month, but he's not himself in this episode, so I don't know.
No, it's not that he's not Riker, it's that the person writing him doesn't know who Riker is.
Yeah.
That's the problem. He's not quite... Actually, no one's on point. Only Picard but he's playing a somewhat generic negotiator. Like,
yep.
It's
and he's not Picard, because he goes down to the planet. He goes down over to the ship later, which they kind of call out in lines of dialogue, but it's kind of iffy as far as the situation goes. So
and Picard being involved with this, it's always strange when this is a nobody cares planet. You know what I mean? It's a nothing. We don't know anything about their race. They have no special technology. It's just another planet. But Picard is so engaged. I always find that strange. So he's beaming down for this negotiation in full risk of everybody. Where's the security team? Where's whatever? It's like these guys aren't worth that. No offense to them, but if they'd set up something cool with them, because even setting up the fact that these raider guys are bad, it's like, and what have they done? Well, they seem nice enough, and now I'll get into this now. Then this is my biggest problem this episode, and it's a lack of logic. The first scene is they attacked and stole shit from Federation Outpost. When we meet them, it's never brought up. Nope. They are now criminals in the Federation Empire. And they've also attacked multiple other colonies in Federation space. Why do you never bring it up and say, you need to pay for your crimes? You've quit crimes against us. And some of you guys got stabbed. But yet these guys... Why is this never brought up? Why is the point of the intro when they're criminals, if you don't treat them like criminals, because they are criminals to your system of government? We don't care, apparently.
I think it's one of them that got injured with the shrapnel, because that's what the blood was. It was the iron-copper mix, which is quite unique to the Akamarians, which leads into the whole... the gatherers and stuff.
But they managed to rip all of the stuff off the base. That was the whole intro. It's like there's nothing left. So they've stolen all the tech. Why is it not brought up? And Picard doesn't give it two shits. Like, he didn't mention it once. And this peace treaty, we want our stuff back, please. What stuff? Well, you've raided 133 stations, please. All of it. You know what I mean? There's a massive disconnect of logic. Almost as if they wrote the intro last and just threw it in as a who cares, because it's such a shitty disconnect.
Yeah, and the fact it's never mentioned again, or whether the people recover that were stunned, you'd never hear them about it. So, unless I missed that. But
this does feel more like Star Trek Picard writing, in the sense of, don't think about it, keep going.
Yeah.
And it kind of keeps having soft resets. It's like, oh, what's with them? they're nice enough people, great soft reset, and then the lady's a romantic interest. Doesn't matter. You've agreed to it. Move on. You know, it's a weird. It's not well written. Definitely it's not well written. I just felt that was quite stupid because it's treated as so important, yet they are the criminals you're searching for. That's the point.
Yeah.
And they assaulted people, and could have killed them. Like, what if they hadn't have got to the distress signal? If that door was jammed, what if they hadn't got to the 3 days? They'd died of starvation. Could have been murder as well. So, yeah.
And Dan23 says nitpicking.
No big plot hole.
Dan, you've been here for all of these. We'd like to point out the plot holes. So.
And that's actually quite a big one because the entire establishment of the episode is not.
Yeah.
It's not worth anything.
Yeah.
But chest hair is now on the bridge.
Yes, and they tell him to let Wesley know the course to set for the Harami cluster. A child?
Yeah.
That doesn't inspire my confidence.
And then Picard gives the face.
And so he goes over, talks to the kid. Kind of creepy, but that's okay.
Well, it doesn't take life seriously. I didn't think it was creepy.
I didn't either. I'm just joking.
Okay.
But says, here's the course. Well, that'll take us through an asteroid belt. What, you can't fly your way around some rocks? Sure, but if we take this heading, we will avoid the asteroids and only lose 12.7 minutes at warp 7. Okay, then. All unnecessary. But it's building their relationship because, I guess.
Well,
sure.
What you mean is they have a scene later, which has had this scene now, for us to know that they know each other.
Yes, pretty much.
So they said, let's write a non-scene so we can have a scene later. And in fact, it should have been a scene that meant something. They should have.
It shows the guy. It shows the guy's not a complete asshole. He's just kind of a gruff,
Well, not even gruff. Just like he's a bit of a lad's full-on lad. He does end up treating Wesley with quite a lot of respect in his own way. Like, you can tell he's not disrespecting him after a certain point. I think just Picard's glare at him was enough to tell the guy, like, oh no, he is serious. Like, this is a real thing, and that's good acting by both of them there. Now, I thought this scene was also lacking. That you clearly when they focus on the pad, like, is text, and he's pointing at text, and it's like, you're describing a 3-dimensional course. I want to see a graphic of it, like, a route and then move on another route. Like, that was begging for some graphics there.
Yeah.
Or don't show a close up. And I was absolutely convinced they were they were going to say, let's go to asteroid field, and he was going to say, yes, that's where our base is, and you have to maneuver a certain way. It says, oh, just go around it. It's like, you're at warp, you're at subspace. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just doesn't matter. Weird.
All right, so down in 10 forward, Picard's talking to the lady, and we find out about clan loyalty, how it's extremely important, and it was the absolute. It would cause the problems. Any problems with the clan would pass from generation to generation, and Picard's like, "Oh, you're describing what basically what Earth was like back in the day." So we get that establishment, the clans and stuff. So then, dude comes in, steals somebody's drink, which is awesome, and he sees Wesley. Goes up and swipes his pad, and I forget. I didn't write down what Wesley said, what kind of maths he was working on, because really,
you could remember it.
It was like 12 words that were all 15 letters or more, and I didn't care.
It was a very well said line though by Will. Like, I was like, "Whoa, you sound real smart."
Yeah. The guy's like, "You don't like me." Wesley's like, "Well, you're a thief. I want something better for me and my children.
Yeah.
I've got kids the same age as you. He's no good at math." He respects the kid. He's a likable enough guy. I think this is actually Marina Sirtis' husband.
Oh no, I don't think he said that, but no, it's an extra is.
Oh, okay.
That was my guy.
But no, I kind of like this guy. So.
Yeah, he does improve. Like, that's the thing. You understand them by the end. They put time, and it's the time and the performance into it.
Yeah.
And
I hate the way they're dressed. It feels like a LA biker gang. They just went up, grabbed somebody. Hey, want to be in a Star Trek show?
Or it's like an indie film where they said, right, let's go to a goth store and a biker store, and
It's Mad Max.
Yeah.
Get very severe Mad Max vibes.
And I just saw Mad Max Fury Road, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, this thing with the regent lady, I mean, it's all exposition. You know, this episode is very much exposition. The episode, but the way she describes it is impractical, because if every time you do a thing you have to retaliate stronger, by that logic, over 200 years, you know, and they do express that they just wiped out a group by the end. Like, if part of the rule is you have to escalate each time, I mean, there should be no culture left. You know, one person has to say no, or else. I mean, someone has to stop, but if it's an entire culture. So it's a little bit too full on, and when Picard's like, that reminds me of our culture, it's like, no, it doesn't. We've had nothing that drastic, otherwise there'd be anything left. You know, someone has to stop, someone has to make peace. But that's not part of their culture. They say, you know, even just a single wound, single stab has to be attacked their entire, you know, base. It's like, it's very drastic, and you wonder, well, what the hell happened to get them out of it? Because it's really, like, you think the Klingons are bad. You know what I mean? The way she's describing her culture is far worse than the Klingons. Because, you know, I just watched Way of the Warriors research, and, you know, Gowron stops the attack when he's just lost like 1,000 people and 20 ships. These people wouldn't have done that, would they? They'd have kept fighting until they all got killed. So it's much worse. You know what I mean? It felt very, again, poorly written for the context, I thought.
Well, I think the way he meant clans was like America's a clan, the USSR is a clan. Those things carry on generationally based on. I think that's what he was referring to. Not necessarily clans, like kill everybody, but he was just drawing a simile so people can understand. So it's fine.
Sure.
Anyway, also going on in 10 Forward. Oh,
yes.
Sorry.
Right, and the Wesley bit's fun.
Yeah.
Unneeded, but fun.
She, I love how she excused herself earlier. I've got to go make something for Commander Riker. But she brings this Parthos Aluta. And it's apparently very good. And I love how he's sitting with.
They say.
Yeah. Sitting with Troy, and Troy's like, "No, that's okay. You can come and sit down. I'm just leaving anyway, even though it's so good."
So if you want to mac out with my ex-boyfriend, you're welcome to. That's what she was saying.
Yep. So yeah, her name is Yuta. I don't know if we said that already. I don't think we have. But she says, "My name's William," and they just have a nice back and forth. It's nothing special, and it doesn't come off as. It's not memorable, in my opinion.
Nope.
Even though they try to make it be, it's just not. I don't know. It's just nothing there.
Yeah, there's several disconnects here. Like I say, I found it a bit funny that she. I assume when they say about cooking it, she was actually going to make this meal. It's not. It's a replicated meal. So it's already like it can't really be a true version of it anyway, and yet it's a bit. This whole episode, like I said, feels like exposition. She's telling about the slave culture and all this and all this and all this, and he's just responding to that and being a bit more flirty for that. But there's nothing really of her in there, really. It's just her culture. She's she's like the Harry Kim. I'm telling you things about things. The only thing that is interesting, because I remember obviously the end of the episode going into this, I like where he says, well, you know, why don't you leave? Why don't you be something else? She says, I can't be. And he's like, well. And she's like, I'm a servant, not a slave, which you sort of forget there's a distinction based on how she's being treated, but no, there's a distinction. She's like, no, I can't leave because my purpose is here to kill this person. So, and you can see that toil in her expression, which I thought was really good. But, like, you don't know that yet, so that's a second watch sort of enjoyment, you know? Like, if you knew her mission at the start, it might have been better, or if you'd seen different things, or there's way better ways you could have played this, absolutely. And then she gets pulled away to do something else when the lady's clearly like, you've flirted enough with him, now leave. It just nothing plays particularly good. And he's definitely too forward. Not as forward as last week, but too forward.
Who was he forward with last week?
No, I mean the guy with Troy.
Oh,
I'm just in general.
Yeah. No, that's totally fucking different.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying very forward and less forward, yeah.
Anyway, he gets called to sick bay and talks to Crusher. Find out there's a microvirus in the body that caused the heart attack. The virus only attacks a very specific DNA makeup. I would say it would kill only one Akamarian in a million.
Yep.
So it turns out that Volnath, that's his name, was murdered.
Yep.
So that's great. That's great, actually. I love the little the image on the view screen was great.
Oh,
It's
that is a good, yeah.
good scene. Good scene.
This is
It's coronavirus.
Coronavirus 1 million, yeah. No, I mean, this is a very, very clever. I mean, considering what this race obviously has warp-capable starships. It has enough weaponry and shielding to raid species, including the Federation outpost, with ease. And it can presumably replicate, because they're able to program replicators without much knowledge. And they can do a genetically modified virus to kill ultra-specific. That's a good level of technology, which is never really quite whatever. I think in like Voyager, you would have seen the first shot with like a space station, like a bit more setup. But I like this bit feels clever and reasoned, and it doesn't have to be foul play, but it's like it's just too specific. Although it makes you wonder if it literally means 1 in a million, how many millions of people are there then? Because that's a very specific number. They do say the other guy's the last, but
no, I don't think they were meaning specific numbers. It was just a 1 in a million shot.
Well,
It was a phrase.
Well, I feel like she's being very doctory and more specific there. Like, I don't know. I felt a bit more like, 8 people have it. Oh.
No, I don't think so. We got a really weird shot of Riker. Kind of had a hard day, you can tell. And he hits the comm badge. Data is Akamar 3 uploading their databases into our computer. Yes, sir, they are. Well, let me know once the medical database is online so that we can get the information to Beverly. And then a chime at the door, and she walks in. And maybe, would you like to dine with me? Well, I've already dined, but maybe you know a good Akamarian dessert recipe. And then she kisses him and says, "I'll do anything you wish." He says, "As a slave?" And then they talk about equality, especially in matters of intimacy. I don't know. Bugs me, this scene, a little bit.
Why?
I would have been like, "Oh, you're kissing me? You'll do anything I want. The bed's right over there, so let's go on over. 'Cause I'm a pig." Judge 1981 throws in $10. Sending my love, and don't forget to mention the pug. Hashtag Riker read that. Rikered that. There we go.
Yay for the pug.
I don't know. This.
I mean, this is my favourite interaction with them because it makes more sense than the other ones. Obviously, this is the built up to this moment bit, but it's But then this scene confused me in the sense that she is working the service of the lady of the high up, but her entire purpose for being, since she was, I guess, in her 20s or whatever, is to kill everyone from this clan. Now, obviously, she takes a long time to do each of these people's kills, but this bit feels like her being her. Like, this doesn't add to her mission. She's not trying to get information out of him. She's just offering her sexual abilities to him because he likes her, and the regent lady was like, he clearly thinks something of you. You should go do him. And she's like, okay. But this doesn't add to the mission. Like, if she was using this to get data codes off him to be able to access the shield grid or to do this, but you don't feel sorry for her as I've been locked into this. I don't want to do it, but I have to. No, she wants to do it. She needs to do it. There's no second thought. So if she's being a genuine person here, okay, it doesn't matter to the plot, doesn't matter to the resolution, but you should add the subtle context of what she doesn't want to do. But she doesn't. It doesn't have levels, and that's the sorry thing about this scene. It's just her being a human when she isn't really, on the level of this episode. Would have been better if there was more to it. Or if she expressed remorse at having to be alive, or if he said, or she said, "Oh, I want asylum" or something, or something clever. There's not much clever in this scene. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
But then Red Alert happened.
Oh, it does. Oh, no, and they get shot.
Well, not yet. Before they get shot, the guy's like, "Hey, that's Kurgan's ship."
No, they get shot in the room. There's a
Oh yes, they do.
because
Yes,
I noted that because red alert, and then he walks out without saying a single thing to her. Not it's okay. Not I'll meet you at the bridge. Not get to safety. Just like
and no
what?
urgency because he says something else to her and then leaves, and he doesn't.
It's like you're leaving her in your quarters unattended while you're under attack. Say something to the woman. It's like go to your quarters. It's such a.
I
Again,
forgot that they got hit while he was in the quarters. Yeah, you're right.
it's just such a weird like and walk out. It's like say bye at least. What are you doing? It's weird. Then they're on the
Dude's
bridge.
like, "Hey, it's Churgon's ship."
Well, there's a funny way of showing it.
They got hit a few more times,
Yeah.
but they're not too worried about it. Get him on screen. Well, first of all they fire at him, and that kind of quiets him down because they tried hailing him. He wasn't answering the hails. He just kept firing, and yeah.
Now I kind of wish though we got this a few times recently. I wish they'd said like shields down to 89%, but they just say shields holding. What does that mean? 0% damage? In which case,
Basically.
In which case, well then say that. In which case, why are they a threat? Like they're either a threat or not a threat.
I think that's implied from the fact that the rifles that they were using were not powerful. So them getting hit and Picard just standing there with his hands behind his back going, not even asking if it's a problem, shows that that they're really nothing to worry about.
I just think that's the writer not giving two shits about the
Probably.
little details.
Probably,
Because
but it was played well enough that it implied that they didn't have anything to worry about with this ship. So,
Yeah, but then it's like the ship would know that. Why does it keep firing when it can't do anything? Like these aren't stupid pirates. This is the head of the criminal organization, pirate people. They've got this way of being smart. Why are they attacking a superior vessel it can't possibly win against? I never liked that sort of non-logical strategy. It's like sometimes in Trek they run and you have to chase them, stop them, but they just fire pointlessly. Whereas at least if they got like 1% down, 2% down, 5% down, you get a sense of okay, fine. It just doesn't play well. They just seem stupid when they're not stupid. Just bad writing again. Just don't think about it.
Yeah. So they talk to the guy and say, "Hey, we got this chick over here. She wants to come over and talk. You should listen to them. These guys are good people." I love how friendly these guys are. They seem like they look like assholes, but they're actually super friendly and just super chill guys.
Yeah, after you get past the rough edge, they're fine.
Yeah. But Picard decides to go over, and Riker's like, "You're going alone, Captain?" Picard looks at the ship and says, "He won't do much with the Enterprise's phasers trained on his ship. I must be a mediator, not an enforcer."
That's a nice line. That's a nice line.
Yeah. So it's a little out of character for Picard to be doing this in this kind of situation, considering that this episode rolls way too smoothly. It's like the lady says, "We don't want them back, but maybe you should want them." Okay, yeah, sure. We found them. We're shooting at them. All of a sudden, we're down on the planet with Picard, and same here. It's the same. It's such a weird progression.
Like I said, it's more like Star Trek Picard. Don't think about it. Move on.
Yeah.
Just watch it. Never go back and we've got your money. Never go back and watch it again. And it's like, oh, but we like doing that. I don't think it would have made more sense out of characterness if these people were more important. Because he's so gung ho. But this isn't important, really. And in fact, Riker makes more sense because he's now dealt with them more in a sense. But I do quite like this redressed bridge set though. I don't know what set this is trying to be. I like this set. This is a cool, it actually feels like a new set to me, which doesn't often happen.
Yeah, Area 51 throws in $5. These gatherer guys need a killer guitar riff whenever they leave the room. Every time you see them, ding. Yeah, man.
Oh, and Jill says my rating for this episode is increasing as we go along.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, okay. Hi, Zeraxis. How you doing?
The thing that bothers me about this is they know that they're coming over, and then the captain's like looking through this little viewfinder at his buddy. It's like they're like little kids.
Well, they have fun. They're chill. They're really chill.
And this is a redress of the Permelian battlecruiser set bridge.
Looks real different to me. I mean, I get what you mean, but
it's the space. You can tell. There's things about it that are very similar.
But it is heavily stripped out.
Oh yeah. And I love how he's like, I could take you prisoner.
Picard's like, uh-huh. Yep.
And he's like, oh, I won't, though. You've taken time to get here, you know. It's like, okay.
It's like, it wasn't hard. We just got to the planet, asked for directions, and took us here. It wasn't difficult. Oh, I guess he assumes we went through the asteroid belt. I had to fly, but it's like, no, you just go around it.
Yeah.
Would that
Took us 12 minutes longer.
Wouldn't that be a fun line, though, if they'd said, yes, you traversed the great asteroid belt? It's like, and then the guy turns to him and says, sir, they went around it. You can do that? Yeah, a kid showed me how. A kid? He's
Space is 3D. Just so you know, you can go like over it, around it. Let's go through it.
Just like this table.
So it's not like a forest.
Through the forest they go. Yeah, Discovery reference. I like how Picard just sits down in the chair he was sitting in, like, nope, my chair. And it's like, throws stuff to the floor. Like, well, if you can't have my stuff then. And sits on the other chair. It's such a random moment.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, we got dignitaries here. We got to clean shit up. And they're going to brushing shit off the table. I love it.
He's actually not that bad. I don't mind this guy. He really does get better and better the more...
They are likable. They are likable, sure.
Because they're not bad guys.
No. But we find out that the lady says, we're proposing amnesty for every gatherer. We need you back, she says. Mm-hmm. I brought some Akamarian brandy. I'm sure it's been a long time, very long time. Of course, one for herself. Well, the lady does, and for Picard. The other guy kind of refuses at first. Then she says, we'll give you the means to clothe and feed yourselves. We've set aside some land. Mm-hmm. He's like, land? Do we look like farmers to you? Well, first of all, he says, how will we clothe and feed ourselves? And she says, we will take care of that for you.
But not provide. He's like, well, will you give us everything? Oh, no, we'll give you the means to.
Land.
Which is good. Yeah. It's like, we don't want to be hand-fed. We're here to do stuff. But not farm.
Yeah. Use the land as you wish, then. Well, we will need autonomy. So, pretty good bargaining right off the hop. Like, she's offering quite a bit.
Oh, she's offering a ton.
Yeah. So, again, it goes way smoother than you anticipate with these kind of things. Yep. And also, we've seen it many times in TNG and other Star Treks where people are just stubborn. Yeah. And they won't listen. But this is very smooth.
And considering these are criminals through the entire sector, planets of multiple races, the fact that she can offer amnesty for literally being criminals for 100 years, who raided ships and planets and space stations for 100 years, a full amnesty. That's a really good... And the vibe she was giving off is there's no small print, fine print. Just no, we just want you back. Like, this is a full pardon, you know. It's like, you know, a mass murder. It's like, or you know, mass whatever. Where it's like, oh, full pardon. It's like, oh, wow, cool. But I mean, I guess they, as a people, the rogue versions of the people, I think they like the freedom, but they don't like the having to scavenge. As the guy said earlier, I don't like the fact we have to do this. We have to do it to survive. So it's a weird dichotomy. If they want the freedom, but they don't actually want to do what they've been doing. So if they have land, they don't have to scavenge, but they need their freedom. That's the important thing. And, you know, it's pretty... They want out on the table, and they're generally slowly coming to terms. Basically, it's like we want everything we want, both sides, but... Yeah, the guy's pretty damn reasonable.
Yeah. Christopher Rollins, I agree. He says, this negotiation is going too well for my liking. If I was a pragmatist, I would be suspicious. I'm looking for the trap.
Well, you wonder, why is it this easy? Is it just that you caught him on a bad day? He's drunk? I don't know. Like, I know it's been 18 years, but this guy's probably in charge then, or his father, or whatever. Why now? Why now do they okay? I don't know. I don't know. Or they've always wanted to, and they just didn't have a Federation dude to help mediate. Which could be it. You know, if you take the egos out of the equation and let someone in between talk, that can often help.
We're back aboard the Enterprise, and they're going through files. And Beverly comes on board, up to the bridge, and says, I found another victim of Penthar Mall. Penthar Mall.
That's a great
God
name,
damn
isn't
it. Penthar Mall. It sounds like something on Thundercats.
Or like a sweet.
Yeah.
Do you want a Penthar Mall? Oh, I'm chewing a Penthar Mall right now. Yeah.
He was who's a member of the same clan as the other guy, and died of a heart attack before his trial ended.
53 years ago.
Yes, someone's going after his whole family. So they mentioned the tailor-made virus again, designed specifically for their enemies. And the clan's name was the Trulestas.
Good name too.
Yep. So.
Well, and then they asked anyone else in the clan Trulesta, and the computer says, "Nah, I haven't got information because that's pretty, specialist information." And then very, very quickly, Data happens to find a thing like a
correlation between the two deaths.
Well, a bit more than that, but it's really abrupt. He just suddenly finds the key. It's weirdly abrupt. It's kind of like, how are we going to solve this? Oh, okay, cool, done. And then I do have a problem with this. That's a really crisp image, but it's fine. But the amount of her face visible, how could you possibly... Like, most of it is not there. I don't buy you can reconstruct with... Like, the however small like a computer is, the chance of error is massive with that little of the face, relatively speaking. That's like a third or 2/5.
Yeah, I mean, it would logically it would mirror that, and we're still missing most of the nose and the lips,
and the mouth and the chin and
yeah.
It would have been nice if it was an extrapolation, but it's or see more of her.
Yeah,
and in fact, it doesn't even match the two images. It's a different picture. You can tell.
Yeah. Maybe there was like a small video that they... Xerox says $5. Great episode with two interesting factions, each with grievances for once instead of just arbitrarily stupid or stubbornness on one side.
That is true.
Yep, and we see that a lot more later, which is stubbornness.
But nothing has the punch it should have had, and it's missing. It's missing there. I don't know.
So we find out, so 53 years ago, she hasn't aged a day. Dun dun dun.
Which is cool. Hey, good reveal. If you don't remember it, it's a good reveal.
But back on board the other ship, they're talking about, we want 3 seats on the ruling council.
3? What?
No other clan has 3 seats on the ruling council. This is ridiculous.
I don't care what other clans have.
Exactly. And Picard's like, just chill.
No.
And the old lady's like, I don't know. It was well done.
Well,
there was some conflict. It wasn't all easy sailing, but
the fact that he can see both sides is the key here, because but the thing is, this is called bargaining. He's asking for 3, knowing that 3 is impractical. So you say, "We'll find 2." Okay, 2 as everyone else has. Then it's fair, Because when the lady's like, "That's ridiculous," and she almost goes too far, and he's like, "Look, think about it. If you were on his side, if you were his perspective, wouldn't you want equal
wouldn't you be asking for the same thing?" Yeah. Equal. Yes, I like that. Yeah.
Then she literally apologizes, really point blank, and the other guy's acting is like, well, good, thank you. I guess I'll calm down too then. Okay, it's nice, it's good. I just wish the Picard lines had more Picard in them rather than generic diplomat.
Yeah.
Because this could be Spock, this could be Chakotay, this could be Scott Bakula. It isn't Picard per se. It's just somebody playing that role.
Yeah. And we get the beam in of Riker, and I gotta say, I caught the first little bit of the beam in. You can tell that they use fiber optics as for the effect, because that looks exactly like fiber optics. Anyway.
But yeah, they say, "You got one thing in common between you two," and they're like, "No, we don't. What are you on about? You both agreed to have some whiskey," or whatever it is. Like,
oh yes, I forgot about that. Sorry.
Then, lucky timing, while she's very slowly pouring a drink so she can kill him, he beams in. Thank goodness he beamed in when he did.
Dementia throws in $5.
Thank.
It's easy. They devoted all the computer core to it, causing power to fail throughout the ship. It's all the processing power went to that one thing. Yes.
I can see that.
And Jeff Jacobs, $2. Hit the century mark. Can we get another quad? Hashtag make Jeff pay. He wants another 25. Thank you for everybody hitting like. 107 of you here, which is awesome. Hit like if you haven't already. Yeah, Riker comes in and
phases somebody.
Well, yeah, because they go to storm him, and Picard's like, look on Picard's face is like, negotiations, dude.
We didn't organise this assassination attempt. What are you on about? Although, subtly, did you notice that the guy that's stunned, he gets up basically instantly, the guy's taking away, so it's a very, very low stun.
Yes.
And that's a nice little gentle detail, like he's really low stunned.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he starts explaining basically what happened. You murdered that guy back there. It wasn't murder, it was justice.
Yeah. Well, because we learned a few scenes ago that, we forgot that bit, that the Herd clan was literally genocided.
Yeah.
All of them, except 5 that escaped.
Yeah, 5 survived the raid, yeah.
And the problem with that, though, is you can understand her perspective. You killed probably thousands of them in cold blood. I mean, talk about why would you let that feud end? Everyone's dead, all the sons, daughter. I mean, it's pretty gruesome. And yet no one seems to, like, it makes her seem the bad guy here, but it's like the dude's clan did that. Like, they're the bad ones here. I mean, they're all bad, but it's like...
But it was his ancestors, it wasn't him. Like, that's the thing, this is carrying over for generationally, and it shouldn't.
I know, but they did much worse. Like,
I know.
Her killing one person every 10
years. It doesn't
years.
justify it, though.
Well, no, but they don't even try to hit it, because they don't want them to be bad in this episode. They want her to be bad, so they can't, even though they... Do you know what I mean? They kind of roll over it a bit. Like, I wish he'd said, I'm sorry. Even though that wasn't me, I'm sorry that we did that. That would have worked really well, if this guy had said that. But he didn't, so whatever.
Yeah. She goes on to say that she was the chosen one. Her cells were altered.
Yes.
Yeah, so she wouldn't age, and she could basically accomplish her mission. You're the last. Once you're dead, the wars will be over, she says.
And that's really quite impressive, that their tech level could make someone not age for 100 years. That's really advanced tech. I'm sure there's negatives to it. But...
She did say that she ages, just not as much.
Well,
she did say that her aging was slowed.
And she does say earlier on that she can't feel passion anymore and love and such. So I get the sense it stripped her of a lot of her ability of being alive, which is a nice. That's also why she's so blank a lot of the episode, because I like the fact that she's basically become quite hollow from it.
It makes me wonder if she's got enhanced ability, strength and stuff as well. She gets stunned. And she keeps going for him. Is it just pure determination, or is it because of the cell manipulation? Gets stunned twice, and then all of a sudden it's why not vaporize her? Like, what?
Well, yeah.
Vaporizing's a little harsh.
Yeah.
Kill would have been acceptable, I guess, but then you got a body to deal with, so who wants that?
Yeah, it's
Olivia Julius, $2. Riker's breakups are tough. Yes, they are.
just a little bit, yeah. No, I absolutely think it's the she's modified and therefore, but the way she acts is pretty good in this bit. But there's again a disconnect between how they're each acting, and he phases her, and then his straight disintegration is definitely odd. I also just find it odd that he mentions a few seconds earlier, don't murder this guy, and then he murders her in cold blood instantly. You can't, if you keep stunning her, it might work. He just murdered her in cold blood. I would feel bad. I would have night of sleep. I just killed this woman. They don't normally kill people. How many people has Riker actually killed? Ignoring a Borg person because they're slightly different. But how many people has he just killed? Maybe
he justified it that she was supposed to be dead years ago. But
once I point that out, you know what I mean? It's full on murdered somebody. It's still murder. It's still... I guess she gave him no choice, but that's just the same as they gave her no choice. And I guess they just wanted to... I think the director or the writer was disintegration, that'd look cool. It's nah.
Well, yeah. Zeraxis throws in $10. Thank you very much. I think the goal was to show that vengeance wasn't the way forward, but if that was their goal, then I think they shouldn't have had her be ageless. Have her be old increases the validity of her claim.
But then the sacrifice of her own life, figuratively and literally, adds more. I think she's given up any chance she has for a normal life, and that's why it's wrong to be vengeful.
The way she's played, it's she's just an empty shell of a person at this point. So I kind of like that. Not just because her cells were altered, she couldn't experience passion or whatever, but because she's had to do this, over all this time, like that would really get to you. So,
And I do get the sense it was like 50 people over the course of 100 years.
yeah,
Like she's slowly getting them. And they do say, because the matriarch lady's like, and you used me to get the close ones you couldn't. So it's like, yeah, although she must have been kind of happy that the Enterprise appeared, because the Enterprise appeared because they attacked a Federation base. She wouldn't have got to this guy unless she was at the meeting 18 years ago with a different matriarch and almost killed him then and then didn't get a chance. You know what I mean? She hasn't tried that hard to get to him. And last thing on that though, if he's the last of his clan, does that mean they don't have clans anymore? Because wouldn't he? I mean, the other guy has 2 sons. Surely that increases his clan. I mean,
I think once the split happened between them 100 years, well, that doesn't make any sense either. Never mind.
Because they kept the culture. I just found that weird. Like he's the last of them, and he's not the one that lived then, so he's a descendant of that clan. But he's the last one. Wouldn't he care about continuing his clan? Wouldn't they be his clan?
Maybe he's got no nuts. Can't reproduce.
Like if the entire ship, it would have been more interesting if she tried to bomb the ship, like self-destruct, and this was like, I sacrificed myself to kill the rest of his clan on this ship. But it doesn't really make sense of that either. Little things, guys. Don't think about it. Little things.
Xerax is $5. Also, I may be remembering wrong, but the point is that her virus is tailored to specific genes, so they didn't. Why didn't Riker just tackle her? He's not at risk.
Well, she could have ran in a single touch, so.
Yeah, and she was pretty close to him, and the guy wasn't getting up from his seat, so.
Yeah. And I honestly, like you said, I can imagine she has like 20% enhanced strength, speed. And they're not actually humans, they're humanoids, so she might have better reflexes than him. It doesn't take much.
And Riker was pretty far away. Like, he didn't beam in like right by her, he beamed on the other side of the room, essentially.
More of a risk. Now, if she was stunning her and moving forward,
then
he could have got to her, but he didn't. That's a hard effect to do.
And Olivia Julius, $2. This woman killed the guy because of plot convenience.
Yeah.
But,
and Jill says, it'd be really hard to have access to a gatherer for murder. No wonder it took 100 years. Yeah, once they separated. That was 53 years ago she managed to kill the last guy. So yeah, I guess she was waiting for them to get captured. Because that's the only way she could kill them. They get captured and whatever. And Colin Barrett says, why not just beam her out?
That's another good, I guess, yeah.
But I mean, how do you know which one was her life sign until you beamed in? And again,
Jarzia, $2 Canadian. Why not just be? Oh, you said never mind.
Oh,
sorry.
Well, she and someone else did. Yeah.
Sorry.
And then
I love how the guy's like, I owe you one, man. They're so likable, these guys.
Yeah, this almost deserves a sequel in terms of this little group. You can imagine like them asking the Federation for help, and they're like, "What do you want?" It's like, "I want to help you." They're like, "What?" "Yeah, I want to help." It's like, "What?"
We'll help with the Borg. This little ship comes in.
That'd be fun, yeah.
Thanks for the debt there, guy.
I found this moment a little bit funny. Again, bad direction. The guy says, "Are you a debt?" And Riker's like, and I wish the scene had gone on longer. And the bike guy's like, "Riker, stop looking off at camera and talk to me, Riker. Say something, Riker." Because it's just such an awkward like.
Yeah.
It's an awkward scene, and Picard does nothing as well. But talk about awkward scene, Stuart.
Oh, good God.
End. God
yep.
damn.
10 forward. Riker's nursing a drink. Picard comes in and is like, "Hey, yeah, so thank you," to the ensign or whoever hands him the whatever. Comes up to Riker and he's like, "Hey, so yeah, we're going to Starbase 343. I'm going to offer shore leave to a lot of the crew, because, we've been out here a long time. So I need you to take care of that because I'm the captain and that's not my job." And Riker's like, "I'll pass that along to the rest of the crew, Captain."
But he's saying, I'm saying extra shore leave. Anyone that needs it, anyone that murdered a woman recently, any recent murderer can take shore leave to go meet other women and forget about this woman.
I'm not saying this is an order, but this is an order.
Yeah, and Riker's reaction like, yeah. And then, Stuart, it just ends. It's like, what?
Yep.
What?
No discussion about that the disintegration was a little bit excessive.
Next time, number one, don't murder the bitch with the disintegration ray. But Captain, Riker, you have 43 settings of stun. Why did you go past the wall, past the kill? Why, Riker? Yeah, it was an awful ending. But to be fair though, Synergy Stewart, shitty beginning, shitty ending. It makes sense.
Olivia Julia's $2 new series confirmed. Bikers versus Borg. And Eugene, 500 rubles. What a weird episode. I remember more things that aren't actually in this episode than things that are. I didn't remember anything. I remember the lady in the yellow, and that was it from this episode. And now having watched it, it's like, eh.
So, but is this? I was going to ask this at the start. Is this one you just skip, or just watch and don't pay attention to, or watch each time and always forget? Because you do watch as regularly.
I watch it each time and forget, because I like I said, when we do our rewatches of the series, we watch every episode. We don't skip anything. We don't skip any scenes. And I know I've seen this multiple times, and I don't remember it. It's just not memorable.
Do you think you will remember more this time? Having now
Hope
discussed
so.
it for 3 hours, if you include the
I hope so.
I hope so. I'm definitely going to remember it more. But Eugene, tell us what you remembered that wasn't in the episode. Because I had that last week. Tell us what, because I'm interested to see. And guys, we did get to 107 people watching. That's brilliant. I'd love to see 125 likes, and we are getting some super chats, but throw a few more in. It'd be good, yeah.
Jersey at $5. Yuta's flat personality actually worked well to show how broken she was inside, and Frakes did a great job showing Riker's genuine sympathy for her.
But not quite for either, though. I disagree. Almost, but not quite. You needed a scene of the lady in her quarters, like injecting a drug into her body and like a shimmering effect as it like de-ages her, or like she's getting older, de-ages her, and you see like the emptiness in her eyes as that happens, and you see her like go from being a scared woman to just a flat personality, and seeing like she has to keep up with it, and it kills her inside, and like you need something really strong to know she's doing this to herself or something. Because flat only works in certain situations. It doesn't work in every situation.
Yeah. Zerax is $5. Riker, you have betrayed me for the last time. Insert one of love interest name here. Prepare to die.
And Eugene says there's something about an isolated island and continent and secret wives. No, that's season 1 with Riker and the shirt. With the ship that crashed, and they almost disintegrate a dude in a little chamber, and then it again ends rushedly by them saying, "Oh no, it's fine. They'll be safe." It's the Women's Society one. But yes, that's that one.
This is all right. So as far as my score goes,
but I assume higher than you thought going in. Surely.
There's lots of things I like about it. I like the biker guys, even though they appear like they're going to be gruff assholes. I really like them. They're very likable. So is the lady Kai Wen. She's nice, and the way they all kind of just agree to like work together is great as well. But you know, everybody getting along doesn't make for good storytelling generally. So this you could tell Gene Roddenberry was still involved here.
Well, maybe.
But I like it a little bit more than I thought I would, honestly. But it's still not going to get a great score. For season 3, this is going to get a 3 out of 10. And for all of Trek, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10. I mean, there are some memorable performances and some likable characters. But overall, it's a weird assemblage of an episode. Just doesn't quite work.
Okay, and just to clarify, so you like this one as much as the price last week in terms of all TNG, and you like it 0.5 more out of season 3. That's what you're saying. This one compared to last week's. Because you have that one 2.5 and a 2, so this is very slightly better and the same.
I wouldn't say it's better than the price, so shit.
You wouldn't say it's better than the price, really?
No.
You enjoyed
really.
Last week. You enjoyed Rapey Man more. Because
No,
that
I
was a
didn't.
bad episode with
No,
Moose.
I'm gonna stick with my scores there because yeah, I like the Barzan wormhole part of that and the Ferengi and stuff. But like I said when we reviewed that one, I expected that to be more of the episode. So that's a weird one because when I hear the price, I think of the Barzan wormhole, the Ferengi going through them,
Yep.
you know, Geordi warning them, stuff like that, but not the rapey rape creepiness, which is most of the episode actually. So no, I'm gonna stick with those scores.
Okay.
Yeah, this one's better.
Well,
This one, it's a lot funner to watch this one.
the thing is, this is averagely okay. That one had really bad bits. Because nothing really bad in this one, apart from a few plot holes. But an average one plot holes is like, eh. And Christopher Rowland says, I, for one, never liked that everyone in TNG was happy. So happy, it seemed so fake. Disagree completely.
Mm-hmm.
It's the future, and people should be happy and friendly, and we've evolved, so no. Disagree. My scores, yeah, I mean, it's certainly...
Oh, but put your scores in.
Oh, yes.
Super chat your scores. I'll read the super chat scores. Put your regular scores in the chat, and he'll read them when we're done here. So
It's definitely below average, but it's not bad. Like, it's not the child bad, it's not bad. There's definitely problems, but it's one of those ones that should have been a lot better, just wasn't. You know?
Before you do your scores, I just want to read something.
Sure.
Devo77X on the TV series Legends of Tomorrow tonight. They're going to be doing a Star Trek parody called Star Trek. Yeah, I saw that. I want to check that out.
Yeah, I need to catch up on them. I didn't know I was back on, so I need to catch up. God, so happy Constantine's in that one now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna give it a 4 for season 2. So
Season 3.
Season 3, thank you. So below average, but not bad. But you know, all of TNG.
You can't look at your other scores.
Well, I can. 2.5.
No, you can't, because I can't when I make my scores, so that's not fair.
I know, but it's funny because I get to call you out after. 2.5. I mean, it bottom fourth, but I mean, it's not bad. It should have been better. But there's a lot of good TNG. There's a lot of average, and this is below average. No, but that sounds too harsh. No, I'll give it a 3 because it's definitely below average, but not like super below average. So, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
That's tricky.
Well, Zerax.
Tricky.
It is tricky. Zerax, it's $5. I'd give it 5 out of 10. It's not really bad, but it's surprisingly forgettable. High potential, low follow up. So weirdly like Star Trek part.
Yeah. I would have given it probably a 5 if the character moments were better. Because that would have saved a less good story. If they all felt really on point, often that can save an episode. Especially like in season 1. It's like, those character bits were great. Episode not so much. Character bits great.
Area 51, $5. Star Trek, Space Bikers. The theme music will be awesome. 6 out of 10 for this episode. Eugene, 250 ruble. Immemorability.
Hold on, Stuart. Now you're back.
Eugene, 5 out of 10. Not for quality, but for ultimate immemorability. Blah, blah, blah. That's not a word, by the way. A week from now, I will remember it only as Kai Wynn versus the Borg.
And Chris Rowlands comments back, Trekyards, I'm fine with it being better, Samuel. The problem is that it's boring. It's like an undercover cop show where the cops don't screw up. I again point to the mind's eye. Problem is, that's saying you can't be creative and use drama. Like, you have to have everyone hate each other or be negative to make drama. And not everyone finds the same stuff boring. That's why we have different TV. You know, I find soap operas kind of boring. And that's all drama because it means nothing. So, I mean, sorry, you find it boring, but that's you. I mean, lack of creative writing at that point if you can't make that interesting.
And Jill says, what ratings do Trekyards give for an average episode? Well, for me, an average episode is 5.5 or 6.
Yeah. I mean,
this is not an average episode. Sorry.
No, it's below average. I mean, surely average is 5. I mean.
Oh, yeah, the actual definition. But
yeah,
for me...
that's an odd question. Like, average is 5. It's definitely below average.
And Jarzia, $5, 6.5 out of 10 for TNG, 7 out of 10 for season 3. I agree it's not very memorable, but it was pleasant. I was pleasantly surprised last time I watched. It's got problems, but it works for me. Cool.
And Christopher Rollins, in Mind's Eye, Geordie gets abducted and brainwashed. The next week he's fine, like it never happened. That's not the same issue that you're talking about. That's serialized storytelling versus non. That's nothing to do with them being nice to each other. Two different points. And essentially, in terms of like, sometimes I review score things worse because it should have been better. You know, like I thought this one was better than it was. It let me down because of the weird abrupt ending, the weird abrupt start, the lack of follow through on a few bits. You know what I mean? I was expecting it to be more coherent, but it fails in a few general simple storytelling techniques, which, to be honest, I can imagine the start and the end might have worked better in the script, but on screen they don't work, and you wouldn't necessarily know it until you filmed and edited it, which is obviously quite at the end, for sure. Shall I go back and read some non-super chat reviews then? Because I think we're in the minority here, Stuart.
Sure.
I think definitely the minority here. 4.5, 3 out of 10, 4, 5, 3, 5, 4, 2.75 from Becky. Damn, Becky. Brendan, 3.5. Deborah, 7. Ducks behind a bunch of sandbags as we shoot the poor laser at you. Purple beams at you. 5 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 9 out of 10, Fahad. 9 out of 10, sir. It's one of your favourite episodes of TNG. Fahad, if you're still here, tell us why. Because that's the highest score we're going to see, so please let us know. 5 to 6 for Raj. Pharrell says 6, 5 out of 10. Just a regular, not a special, says Jeff, 4 out of 10. The flavour of the bikers were up a little bit. Agreed. Because they could have been generic and they weren't, somehow. Good for them. Jacob, 5.5. 4 out of 10 for all TNG. 7 out of 10, Devro. Also ducks behind sandbags, I guess. Dark Lord. 4 out of 10. Maybe say Dark Lord, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, so we're on the low end. But obviously we are talking about these episodes more than anyone else. Like, we're actually having to really think about them. I suppose you guys might just watch them. You know? I don't know. I don't know.
Everybody's different, so it's all good.
It is. Yeah, I just wish it was more. Would not have taken much. You know? Maybe 25% different would have been better.
It's a good number, 25%.
Hey, 25% can make all the difference.
Dementia puts in $5. Trying to compare it to the rest of season 3 is hard, with Best of Both Worlds at the end being a giant of an episode.
Yep. No, it's true. This one's
dun, dun,
hard.
dun, 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 dun.
This one's hard.
Yeah, it's just when you compare it to stuff like Best of Both Worlds and some of the other ones we've already watched. I mean, yesterday's Enterprise is coming up, and next week the Defector, which we've already covered, so we're not doing that one next. We'll be going to the Hunted. But when you compare it to the ones that are in season 3, this one's not good.
Sins of a Father, Offspring, Matter of Perspective, Captain's Holiday, Hollow Pursuit, Most Toys, Sarek. I mean, there's so many good ones that, you know, this you know, yeah. But it's not bad. It is not bad. It just is a few too many scripts rough. It needed to be refined, fleshed out a bit, reworked a bit.
This one is one that can be skipped because it really enhances none of the characters.
Oh yes, absolutely.
None of the characters have any growth or progression. I'm sure Riker shot somebody, but it's never mentioned again. It's never. It's inconsequential. There's no character beats in this one. You could totally skip this in any watching of it and not miss out on any character things.
Because obviously this stuff doesn't really carry through per se, but you think you know them better, you know, by seeing him do this or him do this. I mean, the only thing we really get is we see a bit of, you know, Wesley being really smart. Is that a shock? No. Riker jumping on people as soon as they come on board. He wants to try that alien. Bleep.
He's the dog on the ship. He's like humping their legs as soon as they materialize.
Yeah. And Picard is a generic diplomat, which is sad because he could have really. Whereas last week we had, or whichever week we had Picard at the end, you know, standing in the front, letting them hail him, and he's really energizing the scene. Look at the plaque. Like, that's Picard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's why it's so forgettable for me, because it adds nothing to Star Trek, to any of the characters.
And even like the ship, they don't even try with the ship. I know it's but it wasn't even attempted a fun redress, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not bad though. But yeah. But there you go. Next week though, or next week on reality, but really soon for us, The Hunted. No, yes, The Hunted. Which I have fond memories of, so we'll see if it holds up. Because I remember that being one I watched quite a lot as a child. And I really remember liking the guy, which is, the guy's in it a lot. And it's like Die Hard on the Enterprise D, which I like the idea of. So I'm excited for that one. See if it holds up.
And I'm going to disagree with you, Jill. She says it added to Riker's character. Not at all.
I mean, it just adds on to he likes to bang alien women. And he's forward, but not too forward.
Zaraxis, $5. Ah, yes, Riker, Girardi, and others should all make a club. The guy killed a dude in an episode, and it was never mentioned again. Club. Yeah. Yes.
It's true. What's more harsh, disintegrating somebody in front of you, or forcing an aneurysm that kills them? Well, she felt no pain, so.
Yeah. So I'm not sure, guys. We'll probably do another one tomorrow. I do have to go with my dad tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be back in time for a live. Thursday's my birthday, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. And Friday will likely be another one. So not sure if there's one more this week or two. So just stay tuned.
I mean, you all know at about 5 p.m. GMT, give or take. So we tend to schedule them. And then we'll talk amongst ourselves if we're doing a live this weekend to celebrate the birthday, drunkenness, or 2 weekends from now. It is between our birthdays or after my birthday. But we will probably do a promo because that's quite a big one. We'd like people to join, and that'll be, might be happy after mine because I can show my presents.
That's what I was going to say. We should do it after yours. So.
Okay, there we go. So that'll probably be June the 14th, or 13th to 14th. Depressing and 1 year older. It's fine when you're middle aged because it's just time, but when you're young, it's like ugh.
Wow. Thanks, babe.
You're welcome, honey. Sweet cheeks. But yeah, that'll be good because we'll you will force us to have fun. Let me say that. That'd be good.
I'm not getting shit faced like I did last time.
Hey, Stuart, you can't decide that. That's the problem. If Mark Lawrence is like, here's 150, fuck off. Like, fuck you. We love you here. And you're like, how many shots? 5 shots. We don't have power there, Stuart. It's not up to us. Wouldn't it be great though if we go for so long, we just get the munchies and we both order food on our phones, gets delivered, and we bring the food into the live and just have munchies like pizza from 2 parts of the country, or 2 parts of the world. That'd be great.
Jersey, you have $5 for the birthday boy. Buy yourself a Horgon or something. Seek I can't even say it. Jahamajaran. Whatever. Zaraxis, $5. Happy early birthday, Cap. May the Trek be with you. Also, Sam, I'm waiting on another response from you via email again.
Sure you are. Dude,
I like how he uses the super chats to communicate with you.
Hey, I'm okay with that. But we're gonna have to work on your models because that's gonna be a lot to convert. That is not achievable in the timeline. They're fine, just we're gonna have to start to work out, which is fine. They're same with David Besser. Got to build up a workflow because you guys aren't used to sharing models, so you got to work for them. I'm not worried. Just have to talk about that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a good everything else. I guess Zaraxis wins the last super chat slot.
Yes.
Huzzah. Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for watching.
We love you.
Love you.
Stay safe.
Not sure when we'll see you next, but at least one more time this week.
Yes. And Mr. Birthday Boy is Stuart. How fancy is that?
I'll be 47. Damn, that's old. That's a good place to end the stream.
Good night, guys.
Hey, guys.